Our lives are laid out on a road of bumps, turns, struggles, and more. How do we respond? How do we endure adversity for learning and growth? I'm Aubrey Johnson, and we'll explore these questions and more on the road to rediscovery. Hello, everyone, and welcome to a special solo episode of The Road to Rediscovery. I'm your host, Aubrey Johnson. The Road to Rediscovery is about reflecting on life lessons for learning and growth, and of course, pay it forward and uplift others who are struggling through dark times. I'm happy to share that ever since the launch of this show in 2018, we have gained constant momentum and a steady incline of listeners worldwide, getting in front of more and more people wanting to hear inspiring stories of overcoming adversity and insights on personal growth. I want to personally thank you for your continued feedback, your good thoughts, and kind words. And if any of our past episodes has resonated with you, I want to kindly ask that you please visit Apple Podcasts and give us a 5-star rating. This will help keep that momentum moving in the right direction to those in need to hear extraordinary stories from extraordinary solo episodes and extraordinary guests. And as always, we are truly, truly grateful for your listenership. For today's solo episode, we're going to talk about a moment in time. We've all heard the phrase, a moment in time, right? But what is it? What does it mean? In my view, a moment in time is a manifestation by different elements, people, places, events, and so forth, somehow all coming together in a given pocket of time. It's a random combination of these elements that could never happen again in quite the same way. I've often heard a moment in time used synonymously, like as in a season, like, oh, that was a season for me. I suppose it can mean different things to different people. You know, some use it in a dismissive sort of way, as if they're trying to forget that time, where they would just say, oh, come on, man, that was just a moment in time. Others seem to refer to it with a bit of nostalgia. Like, man, our football team, my sophomore year, we were a powerhouse. We really had something special. Everything just clicked. It was truly a moment in time. I would even argue that a moment in time happens in pop culture as well. If you're a baseball fan, let's say, perhaps you think of the Cincinnati Reds' Big Red Machine. For a few remarkable years in the 1970s, everything aligned. The talent, the chemistry, the timing. It created something truly unforgettable. Or maybe it was that miracle on ice, the 1980 U.S. Olympic hockey team defeating the heavily favored Soviet Union in what became known as the aforementioned miracle on ice. It wasn't just about winning a hockey game. It represented belief, overcoming impossibility. Or if some of you are like me, maybe you remember back in the 80s watching Michael Jackson perform his solo hit Billie Jean in Motown 25 celebration. Millions witnessed a performance that forever changed entertainment. The next day, we were all at school talking about it. It wasn't just another television special. It became a cultural landmark. Even television has had its moments, right? Shows like Seinfeld weren't simply sitcoms. They captured a unique place in time where the writing, the cast, and the audience all connected in a way that still resonates decades later. It wouldn't have quite resonated in the same way had one cast member changed. I want to share with you my first personal discovery of a moment in time. We're going back to the summer of 1985. I was 17, going into my senior year of high school. With my part-time job, that summer introduced me to a new community of friends, an older group, and their social events that extended beyond regular high school games, dances, and parties. At the same time, I was going through a sort of realization within my own head of no longer following the expectations of a clique or starving for acceptance by my quote friends. Instead, I began moving to what I call the beat of my own drum. This was very liberating to me, with the people, the events, and the music that all aligned that summer, that special summer, and opened a new world to me. So let's break down, what does a moment in time mean? Let's break it down. Is a moment in time simply an event that happened, or is it something much deeper? And perhaps the most important question, what is our takeaway from having that experience? Every one of us lives through thousands of moments every single day, right? Most pass by unnoticed. We wake up, we go to work, have conversations, solve problems, we laugh, we get frustrated, we go to sleep, and repeat the process the next day. But every so often, life gives us a moment or a season that just feels different. It stops us in our tracks. Sometimes it's beautiful. Sometimes it's heartbreaking. Many times it's both. Sometimes we don't even realize its significance until years later. And none of this happens by accident, by the way. A heartbreaking moment in time can look an infinite number of ways. It can be a defining moment, receiving a difficult diagnosis. It could be losing someone you love. It could be being laid off from a career, or watching a relationship end, or even experiencing failure after giving everything you've had. From the moments in time that are undesirable or less fortunate, these types of moments often teach us lessons that success never could. Success shows us what we're capable of, while adversity shows us who we are. As a man of faith, I've come to believe something that has brought me tremendous peace. I believe God works through this universe in ways we often don't understand while we're living them. He brings the right people together at the right time, for the right reasons, and for a purpose that sometimes isn't revealed until much later, if it's even revealed at all. So when we reflect on these defining moments, there are questions I feel we should ask ourselves. Number one, why did this happen? And not necessarily every answer is going to be available to us, but it's worthy of asking the question, why did this happen? Invites reflection. What made this season so extraordinary? Was it the people? Was it the synergy between the people? Was it the timing or the challenge? The circumstances? Was it the opportunity? And what is the lesson I need to take from this? That's a very thought-provoking question. And finally, how were the people around me affected? Because sometimes the greatest impact of a moment in time isn't what it does for us, but what it does through us to impact others. I don't want to sound as if you should overthink a moment in time. I know I just threw a lot of questions at you, but if this has presented an experience you never thought you would have, or somehow caused a substantial change in your mindset, or perhaps caused you to rethink your purpose, reflection can help you discover that deeper message beneath that moment in time. Reflection is what transforms experience into wisdom. So maybe you're living through one of those moments right now. Maybe it's exciting, or maybe it's painful. Maybe you're too close to understand why it's happening. And all that's okay. Not every chapter makes sense while you're reading it. Some chapters only reveal their purpose after you've turned the page. How many of you have binge watched different series and had to watch it a second or third time to discover something deeper than what you pulled from it the first time? That happens quite often. Don't be too quick to dismiss the season as just a moment in time. It may become the very moment that you look back on years from now and say, that changed everything. My life hasn't been the same since, and I haven't looked back. Well, there you have it. A moment in time. It can be an actual moment, a day or days, weeks, or even months or years. I encourage you to think about one moment in your life that still stands out. It could be joyful. It could be painful. Spend a few minutes reflecting on it this week and ask yourself, What did it reveal about me? How did it shape the person I've become? And perhaps the most important question, how can I use my experience in this moment in time to help someone else on their journey? Because every extraordinary moment, whether marked by celebration or struggle, is an invitation to grow. It's an invitation to rediscover purpose, your purpose. And it's another mile marker on the road that leads us to becoming who we were meant to be. I want to thank you all for listening. And you may feel this at times, but in our daily struggles and adversities, we're never alone, and hope is always around the corner. Please share this show with someone you know, someone you love who needs motivation, inspiration, and support. And you know, when it all comes down to it, we're all just roadies on this journey of life, but it feels so good having you on the road. Thanks again for listening. We'll chat again soon. We really hope you enjoyed this episode of The Road to Rediscovery. We'd love to hear from you. Shoot us an email at roadtorediscoverypodcast@gmail.com and leave us any questions or comments you may have.